Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a day in the life of a homesteader, the summer edition. I'll hopefully do several of these throughout different times of the year, but today I'm going to take you along with me for the day. And to begin with, I'm going to show you my new morning routine. So I've made some changes to how I start the morning. I'll show you that and then take you along with me for all the things that I need to do today. First up, I always start with coffee. Coffee is the first thing I do in the morning. But since it's summer, I take my coffee outside and get some fresh air first thing in the morning because the weather's still so good and it's a good time to do that. The change that I've made though is I take a book outside with me and I read a book while I have my coffee. And that's a bit of a change because previously I used to scroll on my phone. So this just starts me off for the day and really gives my day a better start. Then once breakfast is finished, I then do some journaling, and this again is a new part of my routine. So whatever book I happen to be reading, and normally it's a non-fiction book, I will find certain passages or ideas or things from the book, and I mark them with the little stickers, and then I do some journaling. Got the chickens and the ducks out the back there and feed them. So our chickens and ducks are fed with a mixture of layer pellets and like seeds. So like seeds and corn. Oh, they're hungry. All right. I throw it out in a few different piles because of the pecking order. Some of the younger ones get bullied and pushed away. Here's our girls. And I have this naughty dog. He likes to bark at them. I'm just going to fill their water up too. We have one rooster. That one there's a rooster. We haven't had a rooster for a while, but we got a few little chicks, and one of them ended up being a rooster. But I don't mind. I don't mind having a rooster as long as there's only the one. So I'm just dog. Just refilling these water bowls. I'll just give them a little bit of a clean and then refill them. And then I need to check for eggs. And I don't think they've been collected for several days. Let's see how many we've got in here. Where are they? Really need to come in and clean this chicken coop actually. Oh, there's only 3. Okay. Maybe someone did collect them. Alright. 3 eggs. And now it's time to do the ducks. Here are the ducks. Do a bit of a clean up in here. There's branches down, which makes it a bit hard for them to walk around. All right. This is their house. It's just an old cubby house. Oh, they've got plenty of water. That's fine. I'll just give them their food. There you go, duckies. Off you go. I've decided I've been putting this off for too long. So this morning I am going to clean out the chicken coop and put some fresh hay in there and in the nesting box. So it's not so warm today, so I think it's time, no more excuses. So I'm going to use all of this hay. This is just gets dropped from when we have hay for the horses. So I've got a whole heap here on the ground. I'm going to pick that up and put some more in the chicken coop on the floor and in the next nesting box. Okay, I have cleaned up the chicken coop. It was a bit of a quick job, but it was better than nothing. So I'll just show you what I've done and what it looks like now. Okay, so I've put new hay down on the ground, and in that nesting box, scraped up. I could probably have done a better job if I'd had like a hand scraper, but I just used the shovel. The perches that they sit up there, and they do sit up the top there as well. So this is how we have converted this old cubby house into a chicken coop, but that's looking much nicer with some fresh hay, and hopefully then they'll lay their eggs in the nesting box rather than on the ground like they have been. And this is just some of that's fairly old, but the old chicken poo that I collected from inside the coop, and I'm going to now go and dump that on my compost pile. Right, so my plans were to spend some time in the garden, because although today's video is a day in the life of me as a homesteader, in summer, this is going to be the summer edition, we've actually had a cool change. So we've had several days of really hot weather. In fact, when was it? Wednesday, 2 days ago, it was 37 degrees. So we've had sort of around mid to high 30s for the last several days, and a cool change came in late yesterday afternoon. Today's a little warm. That sun is still hot, but it's only going to be around 23 or 24, so it's a perfect day to get out in the garden. Although I feel like I've left it too late. I got sidetracked with some things this morning, and it's now lunchtime. But I think I'm just going to harvest a few things here in my greenhouse, and then go in and have some lunch, and then come out and do a little bit. But I may do a little bit later on in the afternoon when that sun's not so high in the sky. The weekend is meant to be really cool. It's only going to be around 17, 18 degrees, and that's like 20 degrees cooler than it was 2 days ago. So we're having a little bit of a cold snap, which is fairly unusual for February. We do get cool changes, but maybe not quite that cool. So this weekend I'm planning on getting a lot of jobs done, but I really wanted to do a little bit today. So first of all, I'm going to go into the greenhouse and let's harvest a few things that I've got that I've noticed are ready for harvesting. So one of the things I really want to do today, and I think I am going to prioritize this, is to clean up the mess in my greenhouse. I have stuff everywhere. Have a look at that. The wind came in and blew a whole lot of things down on the ground. It is just a mess. And I am planning this weekend to do some seed raising. So I'm going to get some seeds going for the autumn and winter. And I really need to do a clean up in here. So I've got all the old, what do you call these? Seedling trays from spring, some things that died or I didn't use. I just really need to empty them all out, get everything tidied up so that tomorrow when it comes to seed raising time, because I need to buy some seed raising mix, it'll be so much easier because I won't have to clean up first. So that is definitely going to be on today's job list. I've got a few tomatoes here ripening. It's funny how the ripening slows down in the summer when it's really hot, but now there's another one in the back there. Is that ready? Not quite. I'm just going to leave those a little bit longer. But I did notice I have capsicums. These are delicious. They're called Jimmy Nadello, I think. And they come in I buy a mix called Italian Friars from Diggers Club. And so these are all great for just like frying or grilling. And they have so much flavour. I really, really recommend these. They're only thin and there's not a lot of them, but I tell you what, the taste is delicious. So I need to pick those. I actually got another one in here. Oh, that's a really good sized one. Again, I'm still getting, that's got to come off. I'm getting blossom end drop on all my bell capsicums. So I'm nearly going to give up on those, I think. And then I have these. These are called, I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. It's like Toro something. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember. But these are also delicious. I've been leaving these to ripen. I've picked some green and leaving these to ripen to orange. And I've got another one over there definitely ready to pick. So I'm going to grab some secateurs and pick those capsicums. And there we go. Beautiful handful of delicious capsicums to fry up. These are delicious for frying and grilling. Now for lunch, normally I eat leftovers just because often there are leftovers and I seem to be the only one in the family that tends to eat them. So that's usually what I go for, but there's not really any leftovers from last night. But I did find I've got some leftover cooked veggies. These are just like stir-fried veggies, bit of beans, squash, celery and cabbage. And I do have a couple of cooked potatoes left over. So I'm gonna somehow make a salad out of this. I think I'll chop the potatoes up, add that into there, maybe put in some tomato and cucumber and maybe some tuna, and just make a quick salad, put a little bit of a dressing on the top, and I think that's what I'm going to have for lunch today. So I normally just kind of make something up based on whatever's left over. I hate wasting food, so I will try to use up whatever I have. It's also the day before grocery shopping day. We have plenty of veg still from our veg box. We normally make that go for a couple of weeks, but kind of running low on other things, so I'm just going to make do with whatever I can put together today. Rightio, so there's the end result. Just potatoes and the leftover veggies. And I added a bit of cucumber and tomato, some tuna, and it was a lemon pepper tuna. And then just put a bit of a creamy dressing on top. And it's sort of like a niçoise salad, I guess, but with a few extras, definitely not authentic. But that will do for my lunch today. So before I go back outside and clean up that greenhouse, I really wanted to make some burger buns for tonight. We're doing homemade hamburgers, and I was watching another YouTube channel, Homestead. Some of you may know of that channel, and she was baking different breads just recently. And so I thought I got a bit inspired and thought I'm going to make my own burger buns for tonight. Later in the year, or I think it's only in a few months or so, in terms of my year of sort of creating more and consuming less, I plan to get into baking breads. And I mean, not that I haven't done it before, but I want to create a really good routine around baking bread, so I do it more regularly. So I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I've just decided I just want to give this a go today. And also it's cooler. I don't normally bake a lot in summer because it's just too hot and it heats the house up. So today is a lot cooler. In fact, it's gotten more cloudy and it's not quite as sunny out there, which will be nice when I go out into that greenhouse. So what I'm going to do is get this going, get the dough going. It'll have to sit and prove. So while it's proving, I'll pop out into the greenhouse. I'll then do a little bit of cleaning up and come back and then finish off the burger buns. So that's my plan for now. I do get sidetracked sometimes. My plan was to go straight back out after lunch, but then I had this idea that I wanted to make the burger buns. And the great thing about bread, when you're making bread, it does take time, but it's not a lot of active time. So a lot of the time it is just sitting there proving. So it's really good to kind of do when you've got other things you want to get done. So you can sort of do the first bit, off you go and do something else, come back, etc. This doesn't take a huge amount of proving. So I think the first part I just need to let sit for 10 minutes and then 15 minutes and then about 30 minutes. So that should be fine. I can kind of duck in and out while I'm doing that. So I'm going to get into, I'm not going to show you how to do it or anything like that. I will link the recipe below that I'm making, and I will kind of show you where I get to, and then we'll go out into the greenhouse and do some tidying up. Okay, so here's my dough. I've got it in this mixing bowl. It's been kneaded, and now I'm just going to cover it over with this silicone mat, and I'm going to let it sit. It says about 15 minutes until doubled in size. Now I have got all the windows and doors open. It's a little bit drafty, but I don't think it'll be too cold. So we're going to leave that for 15 minutes. I'm going to head out into the greenhouse and set my timer. We'll be back to do the next step. Rightio, it is time to sort this greenhouse out and get it looking nice again and tidy. The wind has really picked up outside, so I won't be doing any more filming outside. I don't think I have any plans to do much more out there until the weekend anyway. So today in here, then back into the kitchen for a few more things. So here we go. Let's get this greenhouse sorted. Okay, it is a lot hotter out here than I realised. That sun keeps creeping through and it is so hot in here. But I've made really good progress. I'll flip it around in a tick and I'll show you how I've cleaned up, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow for seed sowing. So I have tidied up the shelf and brought all the tools and put them where they belong rather than all over the place. I've got all my pots ready down there. I did find half a bag of seed raising mix, which is still okay. So I can get started with that, but I'll need some more. This is all rubbish. I'll throw all that out. And I've got rid of, there was a plant that was very dead in there, so I'll have to redo that. I've also got, there's another pot here and one in the corner that I need to pull the soil out and replant something, but I don't have any potting mix just yet. And then I've cleared up this area over here, which seems to be a dumping ground, and all the bits and pieces that fell on the ground from the wind have all been picked up. So this is looking much nicer, and I think we're ready to go for tomorrow. I'm glad I got that done, but my timer has gone off, so it's time to go back inside. Alrighty, let's have a look. Oh, it's definitely risen. I'm not sure that that's doubled in size yet though, so I might leave it a bit longer. Actually, what I'll do is move it into the butler's pantry. It'll be a lot warmer in there. And then I might make a cup of tea and wait until this is ready. All right, my bread dough has doubled in size. It looks great. So now I've got to separate it into portions for rolls. Just get my dough cutter. I'm going to punch it down. It is nice and airy. I'm going to pull it out. Don't really want too much flour, but, and then the recipe is for dinner rolls, and it makes 12. So my thoughts are that dinner rolls are smaller and I want them to be burger buns. And I do know that she said she does use this recipe for burger buns, but she just makes them a bit bigger and flattens them out more so they're flatter. So I'm just going to cut, I'm thinking we might make 8. I'm hoping that will be the right, yeah, because that's going to be too much. It's either going to be 6 or 8, but I think 8 we will do. I feel like some of these are bigger than others. I'm going to measure them, weigh them I should say, because I'm not very good at, even though I tried to kind of do half, I'm not very good at getting it quite right. So that's 162. That's definitely small. Now I'm just going to roll them into balls. I did learn this little trick from, I did notice that Becky does this, but I did learn this little trick from my husband, who is a baker, or was a baker I should say. He's not anymore. Just pitching the underside in so you get a really nice smooth top, and I'm gonna flatten these a little. And while I'm waiting for my bread rolls to prove, I took some time to flick through some of my cookbooks. Sometimes I forget about my cookbooks, so I like to get them out and flick through and get some ideas. Right, let's have a look at these. Oh, they look wonderful. Look at that. They're beautiful big pillows. So now I'm just going to egg wash them so they get a nice like golden colour on the top when they bake. I'm going to put some sesame seeds on some of them, but not all, because I do know there are some people in my family who maybe aren't all that keen on sesame seeds on their roll. So we'll do a bit of both. So I'm just gonna cover those well with the egg wash. And then I've got the oven going already. The recipe doesn't actually say, oh no, it does. 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll work out what that is in Celsius. But normally I cook bread around 200, 220. I think for rolls 200 would be fine, but I will do the conversion and just check, make sure I'm not going to have it too high. I don't want to burn them. Okay, so some of these I'm going to put these sesame seeds on. I think I'll do half with and half without. Oh, one's already got a little bit on it. Oopsies. All right. Into the oven, and I think they need to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll see how they go when they come out. All right, here they are. They look delicious, and they're nice and crunchy on top. And I am going to let these cool. I think I might take them out onto a rack first, but they're lovely and golden. And I think the shape will be really good for burgers. I'm just wondering if maybe it was a little bit squished in this tin. I don't think I have anything bigger though. But I think these will be fun. We'll let those cool and have them for our burgers tonight. Okay, I might leave this video here. I will do a little bit of a video of the burgers tonight when I make them, and just so I can show you what it looks like, the finished result. But pretty much I'm going to do boring things. I'm going to go and sweep and mop the floors because these things need to be done, and I prefer to do it on a Friday when no one is home. It's just so much easier. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to bore you with showing you those boring things, but I will do a quick video in a moment showing you our dinner tonight. And then the rest of the evening's not all that exciting. I water my garden and then just chill and read a book or watch a show. So that's my day. My day is never typical. Today was not typical. It's just what happened. And it can be different from day to day. But certainly in the summer, the days are a lot longer and we seem to have, well, you feel like you have a lot more time on your hands. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and spending the day with me. And if you like this content, please hit the subscribe button so that you can get notified when I post a new video, or upload a new video, I should say. I will leave you there, and thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.